And here I present to you their insane half pipe. Look at this thing. Look how skinny it is. It doesn't look so skinny from there, but rating skate parks, at least in the Illinois area for now. Maybe we'll continue on further once we get past these. Here's the view of it when you walk in, but let's break it down and talk about it. They have this core pipe, which looks fine. You look at it, and the smaller ones, you're like, yeah, that's good, right? Hate to tell you this, but you would be wrong because there's a bump right here along this edge. So when you go up it, your wheels actually clip it, and then it slows you down, and then you feel that by the time you get up to the coping. I think this is just what happens in metal ramps over time, and it's also, you can see peeling right up there. So this park's falling apart. Of course, I can't forget all this stuff. I found this interesting. It looks like someone started to paint this coping here, which I guess it looks better than the chipped away yellow that's there. But still, it's a normal spine minus, again, kind of where the ramp meets the flashing. Makes it kind of hard to skate. But other than that, this is probably one of the more normal parts of this park, sadly. Over here, you have that same issue, but even worse. You can tell right there just by going close to it. Your wheels clip that, and I've almost fallen off this twice already. In fact, I'm gonna do myself the favor of not skating this park just so I don't get hurt, because I feel like I'm gonna get hurt. Because on top of that, the ground, I'll ride in this ground so you can hear it. Listen. Here. For some reason, I feel like it's not sounding as bad as it should, but it actually is pretty bad. It slows you down. The ground is a nightmare here. But let me show you more of the park. I find it weird that once you go up this part, you just have a quick down rail. But at least it's like a short down rail, and I guess if you're good enough, you can probably hit it, but it's just like up and down rail, boom. There's no point to just ride across, then hit a down rail. This one is definitely a park that needs to be rebuilt. I'm surprised no one's came in here to rebuild it. But hey, Spawn Ranch, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. Come in this park and redo it because it needs a new ground, it needs new ramps. I think it would bring a lot of kids and people that are trying to learn to skate, and maybe even adults like myself here to come skate, because there's 2 skate parks in Berwyn and they're both not good. We need one good one, okay? But let me continue yapping on about this review, because this park, I came here not wanting to do this review, but I was like, I have to show it anyway, because there's so many parks that are still like this, even if they're not in Illinois. Even in like rural Illinois, we have a bunch like this, and they are objectively dangerous because the ramps are hot. They have like sharp metal edges, stuff like this right here, where the metal flashing is right there, like detaching from the ground. Right here, this metal ramp that I talked about earlier just doesn't really get you enough speed for this area. Like it does and doesn't. You kind of just have to plan on cooking it. It's just a strange setup, but let me show you the other half of this park. They have this whole round rail right here, which I guess you could say is one of the better parts of this park. I think this rail is probably like one of the better things about this park, and at least this round rail is like a pretty good height. It's always the weird rails that are like the good height, you know? And it's like a good length rail. I think if it were just a rail that went all this height across, it'd be pretty good. I don't know, maybe someone will argue me on that. Another thing I like about this rail is the plates on it aren't too big, so like your wheels aren't gonna clip it or something when you're going to skate it. Also, who is Skatewave? I haven't heard of Skatewave in forever. Maybe someone else knows, but maybe this is just like an old ramp company. I don't know. And here I present to you their insane half pipe. Look at this thing. Look how skinny it is. It doesn't look so skinny from there, but once you go right here and you look at it, it's like, I don't know, 5-6 feet wide or something like that. Yeah, 6 feet wide maybe. It's pretty narrow, but then also too, if you look at the height of this thing, it's like unreasonably high for the amount of like speed you get. Maybe it's better for bikes. This might be like a bike thing. I don't know, or maybe a really advanced skater. It just isn't that desirable because if you fall in this like super hot metal. So I guess if you came here in the fall, you'd be okay. You'd be okay to come here in the fall to fall. Once again, look, everything's like deteriorating up here. This is just an Illinois park that's like falling apart. A giant manhole right in the center of the park. Maybe it's just to drain the water out, but still kind of a weird spot to find one in this skate park. It is a fenced in park, but it looks like they've completely ripped off any doorway there, so it can be accessed at any season or whatever, so that might be a plus of this park. It looks like it has one light, so that might do minimal lighting at night for this area, which is really funny because it's in the middle of suburbs, so I don't know why they would even bother to give this a light when there's some skate parks out there that, you know, aren't in the middle of a suburb that do need light. They don't give those skate parks a light, but they give this one that would probably annoy the crap out of people at night a light. Doesn't make any sense, but okay. I know I talked about this already, but this just feels like the oldest down rail in existence, you know? At least it's like kind of wide like that, you know? Makes it feel more like a flat bar. but still, like, I don't know. I look at this whole middle piece right here, and it just screams old skate park that no one wants to skate. You know what I mean? By the way, this is Suburbs Park. This is in Berwyn, Illinois. I know people are gonna chirp at me and say, how could you rate it when you didn't skate it? Blah, 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 blah. I just didn't feel like skating this park. It made me feel like I'm gonna get hurt no matter what I touch at this park or get some kind of like gnarly burn. I figured I'm better off just not doing that and actually skating a park I wanna skate. If you have a skate park recommendation in the Midwest that you want me to review, specifically in Illinois for now, let me know. I had a couple people tell me to go to Turf Skatepark, so that one's on the list. Probably make my way up there. I know it's out of Illinois, but I do want to keep going to more Illinois skate parks and just make my channel be filled with a bunch of skate parks for people to look at. So if you do have Illinois skate parks for now, let me know. If you have some in the Midwest area, do leave them down below in the comments, because we're going to work our way there and try to go to different states and things of that nature. So hit that subscribe button if you want to follow along for skate park reviews. I'd love to see you here. I'd love to see a comment and let me know your own thoughts. Maybe I'm too picky. Maybe I'm too, I don't know, maybe I've been too lucky to have such good skate parks that something like this I can't appreciate any longer, and some of you still appreciate this. I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you later.